Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well today. Today, let us understand and dwell deeper into consumer rights. Is just as understanding our rights as responsible consumers. Now, who is a consumer? A consumer is a person who buys goods or services for personal use. Just like one of you, when you go and buy something, you are a consumer. For example, if you go and buy a chocolate or some snacks, or if your mom tells you to buy some groceries, or even as simple as going to the barber and getting a haircut, you are a consumer because you're buying the goods or using a service like a salon service. And why are consumer rights important? So, consumer rights they protect us from being cheated or by sold bad quality products, uh, as well as they help us get the correct information about what we buy. And in case we face any problems, it allows us to complain and get fair prices or fair practices in the market. So that's how consumer rights are really important for every consumer. Now, consumer rights are the rights given to protect buyers from unfair practices. There are six main rights provided under the Consumer Protection Act. So, as I mentioned, consumer rights are the rules and protections that are given to people who buy things just like you. So, as you are a consumer now, you should be knowing what are the rights and rules and how you can be protected from uh, being cheated or being treated unfairly. Okay, so these rights help you to stay safe, informed, and treated fairly. So now let us dwell deeper into the six main rights that have been provided under Consumer Protection Act. First is right to safety. Now, protection from hazardous goods and services. Example, buying safe electronic appliances, food products with safety labels. So, you have the right to be protected from harmful goods, and the product should be safe to use. For example, medicines, food, or electronics. So, it's your right that this harmful product should be away from you, and the seller should protect you from all of these things. For example, medicines are so important, yes or no? So it's always safe, it should be always safe to use. The food that we consume, it should be safe. Even the electronics, any kind of appliances that we use, it should be safe to use, and it's your right to safety. Right to be informed, right to know the details about product, price, ingredients, expiry, etc. So even when you as a consumer, when you go to buy something, you should be responsible enough to see the price, the MRP, the ingredients, what are the list of ingredients, the expiry, and so many other things are given in that on that packaging, which you need to read and understand and comprehend, because it is your right to be informed about the product that you buy and be safe, isn't it? For example, food labels, medicine composition, terms of warranty. So at times there are different kinds of food labels that we often ignore, or we don't tend to see it. We just open the packet and eat it. But it's very important to see, if for example, if you have any kind of allergies, you need to see the ingredients, the MRP, the expiry date, and how long can you keep the product. So all of these things are rightfully to be understood by you, so that they don't cause any harm for you or the person consuming it. So you should get full and correct information before buying, especially appliances or things which are really expensive and you're investing a lot of money in buying those. You should get the correct information, whether it's a price or expiry date or how to use the warranty, guarantee, everything. Because as long as you're putting in money, of course, you should be getting the correct information. Right to choose. Freedom to select from a variety of products and services. No forced selling or monopolies. Example, choosing between brands freely. Now, if you step into a supermarket, you might find numerous brands, isn't it? The same product with different brands. Now, it's your choice. No one is forcing you, or no one can force you or play any kind of monopolies for you to buy that particular product. It's your choice, it's your will, and you can pick up according to your choice whichever product you wish to buy. You can choose freely from the different brands and products that are available. And no one, I repeat again, no one should force you to buy a specific item. Unless there are times when someone, you ask for information and someone is trying to persuade, and it's their job, they will try to persuade to sell some particular item. But then it's up to you, it's your right to choose. So always choose wisely and choose freely, not under any pressure. Right to be heard. Consumers' complaints must be considered. Access to grievance redressal platforms, example customer care, review portals, consumer forums. So whenever there is some kind of issue, now if you follow the previous uh, rights, that means right to safety or informed or choose, uh, you you will land with a product which is good enough. But in case there are any kind of complaints to be raised, or there is some issue that you're facing, you should always and always go ahead and complain. So there are different kind of portals or platforms through which you can complain. There are customer care numbers written on printed on those products, the packaging. There are review portals, there are feedback portals, there are consumer forums, and make your voice heard. Okay, so you should make sure that people hear your voice, because it's your right to be heard. So you can raise your voice if you face any kind of issue with any product or any appliance, and your complaints must be listened to and acted upon. So it's not just about listening or to be heard, but there should be some kind of action that is to be taken regarding your complaint. So always make sure, ensure that your complaint is been heard and also acted upon. And you as a consumer should also be aware that what is the time period to complain. At times we tend to forget about it or ignore it, and then there's some certain time period where beyond that we cannot complain, or maybe we cannot get the full refund. So you should be always aware about the terms and conditions, so that it is easier to file a complaint when necessary. Right to seek redressal. Now, if something is wrong, you can ask for replacement, refund, or compensation. Okay, it's your right. If cheated or harmed by a product or service, example, getting refund for defective goods. So, seeking redressal, that means if something goes wrong, you can ask for a replacement of the product, maybe a full refund or a half refund depending on the policy, the time period, and some compensation as well. So, this right helps you to get justice as a buyer. So, as I mentioned earlier, always be aware and alert, and be informed, well informed about the policies of the product or the services that you buy, so that when it's time for seeking redressal, you know when and how to ask a replacement, or how much refund or you can avail, or how much compensation you can avail. Okay, moving further, right to consumer education. So, right to learn about consumer rights and responsibilities helps make informed choices and take action. Example, awareness campaign, school curriculum. So, you should be taught about your rights and responsibilities, isn't it? And you should be aware about your rights and responsibilities as a consumer, because it will help you make wise and safe choices while shopping. Now, what are your responsibilities as a consumer? Be aware of your rights. That's the very first thing. Because if something happens, you don't need to, keep thinking that, oh my God, what I can do, or you don't need to panic. As long as you know your rights, you are up on your toes and you know what is to be done next. Check product details before buying. file complaints when necessary, don't fall for misleading ads. So, and always ask for a bill or a receipt whenever you buy something, and use the products wisely and avoid wastage. And you should always report if you're cheated or if you see any kind of unfair practices happening. And it's not just about you as a consumer, but you can ensure to help others become aware consumers. Okay. And lastly, don't fall for misleading ads. There are so many ads, multiple ads coming on TV, and especially those ads which are, randomly, there are some posters put on some walls or electric poles or anywhere around. Those ads especially might be misleading, and they might be attractive and misleading as well. So before scanning any QR code or falling into these traps, you should be sure of what you're reading, what is the information trying to tell you, and use your senses to understand what is right and wrong. So you should be a responsible consumer and always help others to be a responsible consumer. So, in conclusion, consumer rights empower us to make safe and informed choices. We should always stay aware and stay alert. An aware consumer is a protected consumer. So, as long as you're aware about your rights, about what is to be done and how it is to be done, you are a protected consumer. So, always keep that in mind. So I hope this lesson has you informed about the different kinds of rights that you have as a consumer. And next time when you buy something or think of using any good or services, you will keep in mind these different kinds of rights that we have as a consumer. Thank you.